Hi, everybody. Welcome to another Tiki Talk. We're under our renovations. Colleen O'Neill.
Jen Scheffer.
And today, Jen, we're going to get right into it today.
Yep. Today we're talking about team building, and not team building in the ropes course way or in the, what is that? Silly.
Obstacle events.
The obstacle events. We're not talking about that kind of team. We're talking about a divorce
one kind
team.
of obstacles, right? A divorce team,
right? So when you're going through a divorce, the first everybody has an idea. Well, I call the attorney, and you failed, absolutely failed, flat out failed. That is not how you go about this. And if you're smart, this is the episode you're going to want to listen to, and this is the episode that you're going to want to share with other people who are either contemplating or have already determined that this is a step they want to take, because there is nothing worse than being unprepared in anything in life. And this is probably one of the most difficult experiences you will go through. Take it from us. We've been through it.
Yes.
We know exactly what it feels like along every step of the way. We know what no one told us. We know how it impacted us mentally, physically, emotionally, all of it. And we are here to make sure that you don't do that. So this is part of a much larger session that we do. It's usually a multiple day offsite event that we host to do that. We bring in experts. We show you how to really maximize your success. We're not looking to hurt anyone. Mm-hmm. We're not looking to be malicious, but we are looking to help you be as strong as you can through this process and come out in a position that's equitable and that you're comfortable with and that can help you, because this really is one of the biggest life-changing events you will go through. And
absolutely.
That really is one of the things that brought us together. And it's one of the things that we are most passionate about. So Amen. This is going to give you a very, very high level exposure to all of the pieces that you need. And where we work best is to help you in building that team, making it a reality, and coming through with the least amount of damage to every aspect of your life.
And I would say, I read a lot online looking at divorce stuff, and it's what I do for work. And let me just say, everyone will say, well, my ex is a narcissist. I don't care if your ex is a narcissist or not. I don't. You still need to divorce smartly.
Right.
And be a smart and strategic in a really good way. Yeah. Not strategic to get somebody.
No, it's a chess game. Every move you make, someone's going to counter with something different.
Absolutely. So this is about divorcing strategically for success, for you, for your partner, for the children, because if you both come out feeling okay, it only benefits the most important thing in everybody's world, which is your children.
And they feel it. They feel everything you're going through. And when you're stressed and you want to sit in the shower for an hour and a half and just cry, they know something's not right, but they don't know how to ask you. And you may not know how to tell them or reassure them that this isn't their fault, because they're going to look at you. This is their world that they don't know how to fix, because you're acting or behaving in a way that they don't know what to do with, and it scares them.
Right. So we're going to help you assemble your team. And let's take off the top of the list, as Jen said earlier, attorneys.
Yep.
That's not the way to start the divorce.
No.
Some cases that might be needed, but you have a lot of things to go through first before you decide if you need an attorney.
Now, we're not against divorce attorneys. I have some really great friends who are divorce attorneys. I look at them as a very useful resource in the right application, but they are not the first call you make.
And they're not necessary in every divorce.
Correct. Most times they're not.
80% of cases, people do them themselves. It's that other 20% where sometimes you need something, but you have to figure that out as you go. So Jen and I are going to talk to you today about what we said earlier, is like building that team, that team to get you success.
And this is a team that you probably already have some components of. Mm-hmm. You just don't think of them as being useful in that respect. For example, I'm a financial coach in addition to the other things that I do. And one of the things I love about it is I work with financial advisors. I don't place trades myself. I don't tell you what to invest in. I'm not looking to increase your portfolio. What I am interested in doing is helping you make smart financial decisions. I'm here to help you understand why you need things like life insurance, or why you want to invest in a 529 program for your kids?
College.
Or what are you looking at if you're not paying yourself from retirement and you're 55 years old and you have $10,000 in the bank? You've got a real problem. So I like looking at things from that side. But in addition to someone like me in your portfolio, you need the actual advisor, someone who's going to make those financial decisions for you, who's going to help you when you say, I have a 10-year-old child and I don't know what I'm going to do about college. Is there something that works for me? Well, they're the ones that are going to give you the options for that. And these are all things that you really need to take into consideration when you're going through a divorce, because your income's no longer the same level. Your assets are not of the
Right.
same level. And everything you do is going to be predicated on how much money is in your bank account. And what you can do for yourself and for your family
Mhm.
is all based on that. So you really need someone to look at that and say, well, I've got to trim some fat. That's where a coach comes in. You have needs. Well, I want to make sure
Versus
that I leave
wants.
a legacy for my children. How do I go about leaving a legacy for my children? Well, that's your
Yes.
advisor. So I think that, is a huge component of what you're dealing with. And I'd love to hear from the emotional and mental health side, Colleen, who are the most important people?
So, as Jim was saying, your financial person, you have to have a solid financial coach and a solid financial advisor, which you were saying two different things. You should always really have a financial coach in your life to help you as you go along making decisions. But if you're emotionally not in a good space, you're never going to make good financial decisions. If you're emotionally not in a good space, that's not a place to make the most life-changing decisions that you are going to make around divorce. You need to be in an emotionally solid place. And that's where you also put on the team a mental health person, could be a therapist, a counselor, could be a divorce coach or a life coach. But that person's there to help you get grounded so that you're in the space necessary to make decisions around one of the most difficult and most important decisions you'll ever make, which is divorce.
Now, would you also, depending on the age of the children, or regardless of the age of the children, would you also want to bring in someone that takes care of the family?
You would, if you always have family, if you have both parents willing to come in and work. But even if you have one parent, even if it's just you watching today, I would put my kids in either therapy. I would contact their school guidance
Mhm.
counselor. I would contact the school social worker. Those individuals have sometimes group settings for kids going through difficult times at home. One of the things about difficult times at home is divorce. So you definitely want people for your children as well, so that you can really hear. Don't think your kids are going to be just okay. It's life changing for them. And they definitely are going to need that extra support, because typically children will want to protect and take care of the parent and not take care of themselves.
And they may not be honest with the parent too, because they may be
Absolutely.
afraid of hurting your feelings. And I think one of the critical components, because the first thing we started off with is you don't need an attorney. So now we've given you a team of people that really have your back, but who's going to help you put it all on paper?
That's what I'm going to tell you. So that's what my job is. Uh, one of my jobs. But in my practice, I do divorce mediation. You want a mediator, and the difference between a mediator and an attorney basically is you have one person who's neutral, who's helping the couple have that hard dialogue around a parenting plan, around financial choices that they're going to be making, around life decisions of who's moving, who's staying, relocation. You're really having one neutral person, not two attorneys arguing on your behalf. It's you and your partner having a dialogue where you both come to the agreement about how your life is going to play out going forward.
Now, let's say that I love that idea, but my soon to be ex spouse is digging his heels in and says, I'm hiring a lawyer. What do I do in a situation like that? Is there a way to get to mediators who sound a lot more willing to big picture think and be less acrimonious than attorneys? Is there some other alternative where two mediators maybe work together on behalf of the big picture?
So if you don't have a couple where they both, like you and I, if we were getting divorced, that we would come together, I
Never.
would never. But if we did, then we would come together with a third party and have that dialogue and unravel our life, our marital life together. However, if that's not your case and you want it, but your ex or your soon to be ex does not, and they're going to get an attorney, then I would recommend that you get a collaborative attorney where you can have two attorneys and you and your partner sit down at a table and unravel the marital assets, unravel the parenting plan, unravel your life together. But that's you want two collaborative attorneys who will do that.
Now that sounds really great because it sounds like everybody's working together and not allowing the court, which knows nothing about the process, knows nothing about your circumstances,
or your children,
and honestly doesn't care. I mean, you want to stay away from that place in as much as you possibly can. And there are horror stories that we'll share with you once we get outside because it's much too heavy for an indoor topic. But there are instances where you just want to stay out of court in every respect because A, it's ridiculously expensive. It's intensely time consuming and no one cares about your best interest that is standing in that courtroom. So again, the point of divorce is to unravel a circumstance or get out of an environment that no longer works for you. It's not to try and win a war. No. So the thought process needs to change. And when you have the right arsenal of people, you don't need that court. And it's going to work out better for you, for your family, for your children, for your ex, for your future, for your mental, physical, financial, all of it. All of it is going to work out so much better if you can stay away from that building. So we encourage you to get in touch with us and talk about the things that you need, whether you're thinking about it or you're in the middle of it, or even in the last year, the courts have been closed during COVID.
Yeah.
No one who thought they were going to get divorced has gotten divorced. It's changed the conversation. Maybe now you don't need that. Maybe now you realize that that building isn't going to do anything that you thought it was going to do anyway. Now is the perfect time to really reevaluate where you are. Get in touch with the professionals who can help you and make a good decision.
Yeah, don't have a stranger, which would be a judge, make your family, the future of your family. Don't have a judge making decisions about your life.
It's much too important. You're only here once. I mean, this is it. This is not a dress rehearsal. You need to really be in a good place. So let us help you get to that good place.
And I always say to my clients, they'll say, what would you do for your kids? I'll do anything for my kids. If you do anything for your kids, don't fight.
Right.
And we'll leave it at that. Contact Jen and I below. Subscribe to our channel. We're on a weekly series here. And so you can watch us next week.
Send us your comments. We'd love to hear what you'd like to hear about because, we may think this is relevant and it may not be working for you. So tell us what you need.
And we'll do it.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.